WCBI News at 5 starts now.
It's been a long journey.
Emotional comments today from the investigator who has devoted years to tracking down a suspect in the 1990 Labor Day murder and sexual assault case in Starkville. Today, he says his prayers are answered. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Starkville police believe they may have the man responsible for that brutal murder and assault that happened nearly 30 years ago. Police confirmed today that 51-year-old Michael W. Devon of Rienzi is charged with capital murder and sexual battery. His bond, $10 million for the murder charge, an additional $1 million for the sexual battery. Now, this is Devon Saturday evening as Starkville detectives escorted him from a police vehicle to the police station where he was booked on those charges. Investigators traveled to Tishomingo County where Devon was in jail on unrelated drug charges. In a midday news conference, Sergeant Bill Lott said the arrest is the result of a positive DNA match. Now, Michael Devon is making his first appearance in court in about an hour at Starkville Municipal Court. This is the end of a long day for investigators and the families. Our Jory Talley joins us now live in downtown Starkville with more.
It's been an emotional day for Starkville Police lead detective Sergeant Bill Lott. For him, the 1990 Labor Day cold case has been about science, DNA, and endless hours of work over the years. It's also been about justice for the victims. Sergeant Lott says it's even more special to announce this arrest on this day because it's one of the victims, Miss Betty Jones's birthday. The lead detective says he sees Betty Jones and Catherine Krigler as more than just victims. He sees his own family in the two ladies. On Saturday, he sat across from the suspect for the first time. Lott says he can confirm 51-year-old Michael Devon has been in the North Mississippi area since the crime happened back on Labor Day of 1990. He has less to say about motive or even how Devon arrived in town.
Starkville is a college town. It's a transient town. A lot of people come here to live for a while and then they leave. And then a lot of people come here to see a football game or they come here for a party. When I was in high school, I came to Starkville for parties. And it could have been very well, some situations like that. So, those, like you said, the list of possibilities are endless.
Mr. Devon, did you kill Betty Jones and
Investigators to hand this case off to prosecutors. And that's where we are tonight. In about less than an hour from now, Michael Devon will make his first court appearance. We're going to be following this case, and we'll have the very latest coming up on WCBI News at 6, 9, and 10. Live in front of Starkville Municipal Court, Jory Talley, WCBI News.
All right, Jory, we look forward to hearing from you again at 6 o'clock. Well, this is a story WCBI has been following since the very beginning. And more recently, our reporters have tracked the investigation as technology started to catch up to the evidence. Just 4 years ago, our Summer Rascal took a look at the case, doing a walkthrough of the house there in Starkville. Here is her story from 2014.
It was between 8 and 10 p.m. on September 3rd, 1990, when a knock at this door sealed the fate of 81-year-old Catherine Krigler and 65-year-old Betty Jones, creating a mystery that has never been solved.
She was actually they were in preparations for getting ready for bed, and she had been sitting in a wheelchair waiting. Betty was getting her ready, and then the knock on the door, and then Betty went to the door.
Miss Krigler says at first it sounded like Betty knew the man at the door, but then...
And then she hears Betty screaming and hollers out to her. And then next thing Miss Krigler knows, here comes the guy into the room. And here he is.
So this would have been at the time the bedroom that was set up, and where we think the assault happened.
And when the assault was over, Miss Krigler had to drag herself into the kitchen to get help.
She couldn't reach the phone, so she pulled it down by the cord and called 911.
At the hospital, a rape kit was done on Miss Krigler, providing priceless information, DNA evidence. She lived for 2 more months and was able to give a detailed description of her attacker. And as the years have gone by, that vital information has progressed with the times. Each sketch brought in new leads.
And over the last 10 years, every lead, tip, or question that's come in, Sergeant Lott has put into this notebook and used this evidence to make sure that every avenue to solve this case has been followed.
With changing technology and a steady stream of tips, Sergeant Lott hopes he won't be on the streets for much longer.
If I was him, I would go ahead and turn myself in, because eventually we're going to hit the right thing. It's only a matter of time.
Again, that was our story from back in 2014. Now, for family and friends, this could be the closure they've wanted for so long. Investigators, of course, crediting new technology with helping them make this big break in the case. City officials and the district attorney's office today congratulating the police department on their dedication to this case.
Yeah, I think it's a strong signal to the public and to people that commit crimes that we'll never give up in the pursuit of justice, and you can never rest assured that you're going to get away with it.
I would say that this is the biggest cold case that we've had to work here in Starkville. You know, there are other cases out there, cold cases, but you know, this one kind of jerked at the heartstring of the people here in this community because of who these young ladies were. So it was definitely, you know, big case, great day, historic day.
District Attorney Scott Cologne's office will head the prosecution team. Time now to get a first look at our forecast on this Monday. We'll turn things over to meteorologist Jacob Dickey. And fall is coming, I hear, Jacob.
It sure is. Fall weather is on the way, though. Right now, still stuck in summer here. Lots of sunshine in Tupelo. Look at that. 88 still out there. The heat index in those mid-90s in some spots. It's 87 in Columbus, 86 in Starkville, Louisville at 85. Those temperatures will fall, though, over the next coming hours. Here we get down into the 70s by 9 p.m. The overnight lows, I think, are near 70. We do get those fall temperatures, the highs into the 70s soon. We also need to talk about Hurricane Michael. I'm going to have the full details on Hurricane Michael's forecast, including the major impacts expected on the Florida coast. We'll have those details coming up in just a bit.
All right, thanks a lot, Jacob. An early morning accident claims the life of a Hamilton student. 17-year-old Andrew Stephen Grimm was driving east on Hamilton Road when he lost control. The 2007 Dodge pickup left the road and struck a tree. Grimm was pronounced dead at the scene. He was wearing his seatbelt. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office is investigating the accident. Meanwhile, Lowndes County Coroner Greg Merchant has identified the man killed after he was hit by a car on Highway 45 last night. 68-year-old Freddie Hartley was killed in this accident. MHP troopers responded to Highway 45 south of Jess Lyons Road in Columbus. It was just after 9:30 last night. According to the report, Hartley was hit while he was walking. He was pronounced dead at the scene. MHP is still investigating the accident. Fire breaks out at a Columbus nursing home early this morning. Fortunately, everyone was able to get out unharmed. Fire crews were called out to the Aurora Health and Rehabilitation Center just after 4 o'clock this morning. A nurse telling WCBI that workers saw smoke in one of the halls and the alarms went off shortly thereafter. All of the patients, again, were quickly evacuated. We're told there's no damage, but there is a lot of smoke there in the building. No word on how the fire started. 2 new cases of West Nile virus have been reported in the state, one of them here in North Mississippi. According to the State Department of Health, the cases were reported in Calhoun and Hinds counties. That brings the state's total now to 42 so far in 2018. Peak West Nile season in Mississippi usually ends in September, but the Department of Health says activity is still being reported all over the state. Health officials suggest that you continue to take precautions to protect yourself and your family from the mosquito-borne illness. Thank you for your service. We'll tell you how you can send care packages to local troops serving overseas when we come back.